So Oleksandr Usyk, he absolutely mopped up the awards at the Ring Magazine Awards show last night. I think it's fair to say that the Ring Magazine gave him a lot more praise than, well, the likes of TalkSport and Simon Jordan. Be interesting to hear what his I'm sure Simon Jordan has Tyson Fury as Fighter of the Year this year because, it's Simon Jordan and, But Oleksandr Usyk, he acknowledged Tyson Fury, who I don't believe was there. But there's also a lot of talk still, and I'm reading here from Seconds Out. Saudi chief Turki Al-Sheikh is in favour of seeing him and Dubois meet again. It's on the list of 5 fights he wants to make in 2024. Usyk has now responded at the Ring Magazine Awards show where he was awarded Fighter of the Year amongst other accolades and just needed 4 words to reveal his thoughts on another showdown with Daniel Dubois. And I guarantee you everyone is going to do this in Oleksandr Usyk's. Everyone is thinking this in Oleksandr when I say it as well. No problem. I am ready. Before Dubois can worry about his former foe, he must first focus on defending his belt against Joseph Parker February 22nd. One man who knows both fighters extremely well is Fury, who has backed Parker, who some believe Dubois to be overlooking to snatch the belt. Well, Tyson Fury would pick Joseph Parker to win the fight because Joseph Parker is a member of Team Fury, so he's not going to pick against Joseph Parker at all. Even though I believe he is a pretty good terms with Daniel Dubois, but he's not going to pick against Joseph Parker to win that fight, certainly not. I also seen Seconds Out quoting Carl Froch, or certainly Turki Al-Sheikh on Froch on fighting with Turki Al-Sheikh when he had him on, where he was saying that Usyk has another 1 or 2 fights left, not with like Riyadh season or anything like that, but apparently he wants another 1 or 2. Listen, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Oleksandr Usyk, to me, he has done it. A lot of people would say the Olympic gold medal, that's an achievement. Some fighters would even prioritise that over world titles. Undisputed at cruiserweight, the Muhammad Ali trophy for what it's worth. And to do that in a division where it's as tough as it was back then with great fighters, like you had a prime Myris Bradis for God's sakes, and he went to Latvia and beat him, and a tough fight, but still, nevertheless, he still beat him. And you go and do that, you leave no stone unturned, you beat Tony Bellew, you then move up to heavyweight, and in 3 fights, only 3 fights, you become unified champion, you defend that title, you then look to become undisputed, you fight your mandatory in Dubois, who look how well that win's aged, and you really handle him pretty clearly, pretty convincingly as well. And then you go and you become undisputed and you successfully defend that title. There's nothing else at that point to do. And it's not a case of he wasn't being paid a lot of money. He was being paid crazy. Like the money Usyk has made, certainly with his heavyweight run, and I imagine he was very well paid for the World Boxing Super Series. It's not a case of money. With Usyk, it just seems like it's just the way of life for him. That it's just train, fight, and that's all well and good. But there's going to come a point where, and it might happen this year, where the body just says enough is enough. I can still do the training, but I can't perform the way you want me to. And I think we're starting to see that with Oleksandr Usyk, certainly over his last couple of fights. He still looked very good, but you can see he has slowed down a little bit. Although he did look quite good last time against Fury. When I went and rewatched it a couple of times, I was like, actually, he looked sharper in the rematch than he did in the first fight. But Usyk against Dubois, listen, of course I'd watch it. And Turki Al-Sheikh seems to want to do that fight, fine. But look, why? Why don't you just bow out at the top rather than, because what will happen more than likely is Oleksandr Usyk will lose to someone if he has another 1 or 2 fights. It might not be Dubois, but he'll lose to someone he shouldn't be losing to. And you know how it is. People will, and I know we're kind of coming out of that now, but then Turkey's been very, very good at that, and he's said as much, that when you lose, oh, how good was he? Oh, he was never that good. The only time you'd really hear someone like Simon Jordan praise Oleksandr Usyk would be if someone like Daniel Dubois beat him. Because then all of a sudden, no, Daniel Dubois, and you can imagine Simon Jordan, Daniel Dubois has beaten, listen, Daniel Dubois has beaten a historically great, one of the best to ever do it, maybe even the best heavyweight of all time. What does that say about him? And you can picture Simon Jordan. The only time he'll give Usyk his flowers is then, because if Dubois fights him and he loses, I quite like this Moses Atama guy. He's the man to do it. I'm literally predicting the future with Simon Jordan with that one. But yeah, I don't see why he needs to stick around. I guess obviously he didn't take it too kindly when Dubois interrupted that interview segment with Ade, especially when he was mentioning his kids missing their tournaments and stuff like that. when he was mentioning friends in boxing, Dubois, no. So, you know, we might see Usyk really go for the jugular, and Dubois might not want to, you know, write checks with his mouth that his body won't be able to cash come fight night. And obviously, as I said, he needs to get by Joseph Parker. But I just don't see the point in Usyk going and doing another fight with Daniel Dubois. Yes, it would be for undisputed. He could become a 2-time undisputed champion, which no one's done that in the 3 or 4 belt era. I guess it's something else to add on. But it's not something that I feel is really necessary, you know. Having said that, if Daniel Dubois beats Joseph Parker, and we have to say if Parker is game, he definitely is. And, you know, Fury has been in the gym with Daniel Dubois. I remember when Dubois was a very, very young prospect. He might have not even turned pro yet. Fury was having his hiatus. He was very overweight, but he still got an idea of what and Dubois has fought in his undercard a couple of times. So how do you not know Fury is giving Parker a little bit of insight? All right, because he's improved Daniel Dubois over the years, but, like, you know, there's still mistakes there. So let's not rule out Joseph Parker just yet. As I said, in terms of Usyk versus Dubois, if it happens, yeah, Usyk all the way. Again, similar, maybe a little bit more competitive, but again, I think he should just sail off into the sunset. People saying, well, what about the low blow? Does he need to, you know, right that wrong? No, because it was low blow, simple as. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And until next time, people, I will leave it there. Peace.